We are building a 130 horsepower Gixxer 750 swapped child's Corvette bed. This idea came about when I got to drive Matt Spears' Corvette jet boat, and honestly, it was a childhood dream come true. But I want to build one that can go over 100 miles an hour and burn rubber like one of those true American sports cars your Grandpa Jimmy's always bragging about at the family reunion. There's one of these beds 3 hours away, so we're gonna go pick it up. But before we do that, I want to tell you about today's sponsor and the people making this whole project possible, Fishing Clash. Oh, we've got a big one. We've got a big one. No! It popped off the hook again. Even though I bought this new hat and this super sweet rod, it doesn't make me a better fisherman. You know what does? Today's sponsor, Fishing Clash. Whether you're a seasoned professional fisherman or you're just getting into the sport and don't have the gear yet, Fishing Clash allows you to go fishing without even leaving the comfort of your own home. I may not be a great fisherman in real life, but with Fishing Clash, I can catch an exotic fish whenever I want. Check this out. All right, let's see what we're gonna catch. This water is beautiful. This might be the best score I've ever gotten. Oh no. Whoa. Shoo! You're not catching something like that in this lake. This app is free to download and you can catch over 300 fish in real world locations, and catching more fish gets you more lures to catch some real mama jamas. Download Fishing Clash today by using the link in our description and use gift code BUM to get a $20 value reward, including a special avatar. You can also use this QR code right here.
Will, we have to go get that Corvette bed.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Okay, just one more cast, dude. Just one more. Don't forget to check out the link in our description and use code BUM to get a special reward. Now let's get back to the video.
You don't just need Monster Energy, you need 2 giant cans of Monster Energy. Head inside for a special deal on 24-ounce
You need
cans.
2 cans.
Two giant cans?
Well, that was like a 2-hour drive.
2.5 hours. Apparently, this guy's gonna show up in the parking lot and find us and give us a Corvette bed. This bed will actually be a go-kart.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay, I would like to see that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice.
I can't wait to see this thing fully assembled.
It's gonna be a craft mobile.
These lights work?
Yeah.
Shoo!
That's so cool. Double A's, that makes it easy.
This thing is like 20 times as big as I thought it was gonna be.
I've only seen them assembled and they look smaller when they're put together. This is massive.
It's like a good building block though, for
Yeah.
something like an actual go-kart that actual people can fit in. The first project that Dylan's actually gonna be able to drive.
I can actually ride in it comfortably.
He fit in Big Mike, kinda.
All right, we secured the Corvette bed. Now it's time to go back to Spokane and get a Gixxer 750 for the power plant. And Anthony, the guy who gave us our starter, is the guy who's giving us a Gixxer 750 with the engine, ECU, harness, pretty much everything.
Sass wheels, tires.
Shout out to Anthony again. Since Anthony's a fan of the channel, we're gonna give him a piston from the turbocharged mini Jeep that he gave us a starter for. A Bum original. Well, I would say that was a successful parts run. Shout out Anthony.
Corvette bed, new motorcycle. Now we get to figure out what we're gonna do with all of it.
It's all the parts for an epic project, my guy.
It is.
I say we unload this stuff, come back tomorrow, and start figuring out what we're gonna do with a kid's Corvette bed, a Gixxer 750 motor.
Yeah,
It's gonna be absolutely epic.
it's gonna be so awesome. These things are kind of like sturdy.
I know, I was not expecting it. I guess it is a bed frame, so.
They're heavy. We can kind of lay it out. No kickstand.
No way. No way. The tires are so flat, it can just chill like that.
Yeah, no, I knew that wasn't gonna last long.
I cannot believe that we have a Corvette bed and a broken Gixxer 750 to work with this week. It's gonna be a great time. The one thing we gotta figure out is how we're gonna manage all of this space because we have none of it around here. We have a mini Jeep, big Mike, all of these mini bikes, a bed, a Gixxer 750, a drift wheelbarrow. There's just too much. So we gotta get all this stuff out of here. And the first thing I wanna do is start working on this bike because it was in a 100-mile-an-hour accident that involved a semi-truck, I guess. It split the frame that was originally on here. So it's got a new frame, but everything else is completely bent, which means our engine could have seen some serious damage. So we'll move all this stuff out of here, start doing some wiring, start figuring out what's wrong with the bike, and see if we can't get started. Just like most Gixxers out there that have been in a field, this one has some problems. We're missing a good chunk of wiring, but I think most of the wiring we have will work to get it started at least. But I don't really know where we're gonna go from here. I think the first thing we need to do is figure out if we can get this thing to light up. I think we're missing the plug for the fuel tank, which has water in it, by the way, a lot of it. So we're gonna have to clean that out. We're gonna have to figure out where all this wiring actually goes to. This might be the fuel wiring, which is nice.
That would be helpful.
I think we have the dash wiring somewhere, and we don't have a key, but I think the Gixxer 1000 key that's on the mini Jeep is gonna fit. So we'll fit that up, we'll fix all the wiring, we'll get the water out of the gas tank, and then we can see if this thing fires up. Not only are we missing some wiring, we also have some custom wiring. This is like backyard shenanigan. And then we also have the O'Reilly wiring special that goes into our harness to nowhere. It looks like it was done correctly. I don't know why it was cut. Why was it cut? And then re-put back together with what seems to be, what is this, Play-Doh? Maybe Play-Doh
It looks
connections?
like Play-Doh.
Like I said, we don't have a key for this thing, so we got our Gixxer 1000 key, and since these bikes are kind of like Legos, we should just be able to plug it in and see if any lights on the dash come on, because if they do, it means we're not completely working in the dark. I heard something blow.
Yes.
It blew the fuse right here for some reason.
Why would it do that?
We might be in for an adventure, dude. Oh man, we're going down the rabbit hole for sure, I know it.
It needs like all torn out.
No,
Yeah.
Don't say that, Taylor. It could be super simple, or it could be a melted harness or something like that also. But like there's this wiring. I think I actually just found it right away.
What?
Dude, look at this.
What is it?
Look at this plug.
Oh.
That's it for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we've come to the conclusion that this Gixxer 1000 key system is not gonna work on this bike. Go figure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this one out of here. I'm gonna take this one apart. I'm gonna switch the tumblers around so we still have a key. And then the wiring should be good and we shouldn't blow any fuses and this thing should just turn on. Hopefully.
Really? It
Did I
should
say
just
that?
turn on?
It should just turn on. Do I sound very confident?
Yeah, that sounded really confident.
Oh, dude, it's the same.
Nice.
That's awesome. All right, so it turned out this whole situation was wrong. We couldn't figure out how to get the key to work with this, but I just stuck something down there and twisted it. And now I do hear a click when it's plugged in, so we'll plug it in. Perfect. Heard a little click. I saw a light.
Oh!
There's a check engine light,
Of course.
but it does work. 25,000. I think the mini Jeep's at 25,300. That must just be where all Gixxers meet their end.
And they both have check engine lights. That's good.
Perfect, perfect. We're up to a good start. So I wonder if I connect these, if it will turn over now.
Okay.
Ready?
Oh!
Dude!
That turned over.
It turned over. Now it's time to see if this thing's gonna fire up. Hopefully we have spark. How long does it go for?
I don't know.
It just goes.
That's weird.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
But it might be good enough for us to try start. Just give it a good old healthy spray of brake cleaner. This brings me back to the days, man. 1 week ago.
Yeah, 1 week ago.
Do we need to check if we have spark?
Probably.
All right, let's see if we have spark. And there's no spark.
There's no spark.
No! Well, we'll check the fuses. We'll go through the wiring and see if we can't figure out the problem. Last night we went through this bike extensively, and unfortunately, we're missing a lot of wiring, and most of it has been cut or modified. So we're not gonna be able to get spark without ordering a whole new wiring harness. We're also probably gonna have to get an ECU because this whole thing sat outside for who knows how long. It also switched into multiple frames and got in a massive accident. So we checked timing, everything looks good. We checked the oil, everything looks good. And the next thing we're gonna do is check compression just to make sure we've got good compression. Then we can remove this out of the bike and see how it's gonna fit in our Corvette bed. All right, let's see what these spark plugs look like. That one looks like it's seen a little bit of water. That one also seems like it's seen a little bit of water, but that's all right.
Not terrible.
Oh!
Oh.
What is that? That looks horrendous, dude. It goes all the way into the engine. That is bad. I heard a saying yesterday when I was looking at wiring harnesses. It went, a free motorcycle is the most expensive motorcycle. We're making bum history. This is the first time we've ever done a compression test on any engine here. And we need 148 PSI for this engine to be okay in every cylinder. So we'll just crank it over and see what kind of numbers we get. What do you think, Taylor? You think we're gonna have a compression in every single cylinder? Even the water cylinder?
I don't know. The water cylinder is scaring me, but I think the other ones will probably be fine.
Oh no!
Is that... Really?
Are we reading this wrong? I'm gonna check back on the forum and see if it's like 148 combined. But I'm starting to feel very bad about this.
That wasn't good.
60 PSI is diabolical, dude. This engine's gonna need a whole rebuild.
Yeah, this is not ever gonna work.
We're gonna be like fully professionals at rebuilding these engines. All right, well, let's just check the other ones.
Now maybe we could start taking bets on how bad it will be, not if it's gonna be good or not.
I feel like the one with water in it is 0. If this one is 60.
Yeah.
So 0 on the one with water in it. The one we're testing right now, I'm gonna say it's gonna be good. I think we'll be above 148 on this
Oh,
one.
I'm guessing like 50.
All right.
Or maybe the same thing, maybe 60.
So whoever loses the bet gets shot with one of the Orbeez blasters.
Sure.
All right.
I'm closer.
Are you?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you are. No! It's time to test the worst one of all, the water piston. What do you think? How many PSIs?
I'll say 5.
I think I'm gonna say 0. Oh yeah, 0.
0.
It does it even move the needle at all? Nope.
No.
Our last one, is it gonna have anything? Oh!
This is the best one.
And it's still not at an optimal compression.
No, it's not. Okay, I think it's time that Will pays his dues. We're gonna grab this. Hey, Will. Come on out here, bud.
No, dude. I don't want to do it right now.
It's time.
Can we do it later?
It's time.
Ah, that thing hurts so bad. Can I cheat a little bit? Can we go by like a foot? I think it might go into my skin.
Okay,
if we go 3 inches.
We can do a foot.
6?
Yeah, that was the bet.
Oh, why did we make this bet, dude?
You have.
Okay, you're aiming at my face.
I'm not aiming at your face.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Ah! I'm never making that bet ever again. Ah! That got me good.
Oh man.
That got me. Woo!
Do you want to shoot me once?
No, that's not even fair. Let's get back to the bike. So easy.
This is really light.
While we're waiting for all the parts to fix our engine, we're gonna start building the frame for this thing. I'm thinking of building a super simple, back to basics kind of frame with no suspension because we already have a very complicated project going on with a whole bunch of suspension and that takes a lot of time. I wanna make a go-kart that is fun, reliable, fast, and strong. The plan is to build a square frame that fits in these existing channels. That way it will be hidden. It will also align our wheels with our wheel wells because if we built a frame on the bottom, it'd lift the whole body up and this thing would start looking like a monster truck and we can't have that. So let's start building this frame. Okay, we got this square frame built. Now we're gonna take the front off our Corvette, slide this frame into the channels, take some measurements so that we can build a window frame, a spot for our engine, and a couple of other brackets that we'll use for seats and axles. And then we can pull it back out, weld that stuff all back together, slide it back in, modify the front, and we should have a pretty solid frame. That is so perfect.
That is the perfect fit.
That worked so much better than I could have ever imagined. I love the way that this frame fits in there. That is so cool.
It fits perfectly.
It fits perfectly. Now we're just gonna take the bars that we just cut, put them across, weld them in, and then we can start working on our windshield. Now we're gonna make little risers that come up right around here, and we'll make a bar that goes here, and then we can build our little windshield thing. It's gonna look really cool, I think. And it's gonna add a whole bunch of structural rigidity, which we're gonna need with the amount of power this thing's gonna be making. The really cool thing about this setup is with these risers right here and this bar across, when we weld it, it's gonna clamp everything super tight. So the body can't come off the frame unless you take the front off and then you separate it this way, which I think is gonna be a pretty good situation to hold this all together. But the only problem is we're gonna have a gap. So I think I'll use a ratchet strap, ratchet this up, force it together, and then tack weld it. Now that we got this lower frame tacked in and figured out, we're gonna build our upper window frame. It's gonna go from here, up to here, bend, come across, and back down. Hopefully we can do this because we're limited on steel right now, and I think we only have one shot. Did we do this bend correctly?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
We don't get another chance if we didn't.
Yeah, I feel like we're always in this predicament.
Did we do it right?
Hopefully, dude. We only really have one piece of metal to do this.
It looks good.
We did not do it right.
Hello.
It did what I said it would do. It overcrafted. That is unfortunate. All right, since we made this wrong and we don't have any metal, and it's not really the most structural thing in the world, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut out a 4-inch section out of this piece, sleeve the metal, and TIG weld it back together. It's gonna be totally fine, and we just really don't have any other option. All right, let's see if that fixed it. Perfect fit. First try.
Perfect.
But now we just need to notch these, and we can weld them on, and we'll have our whole window frame ready to go. We've got our notches. Hopefully it is the right size. It's really starting to look like a real car frame.
It is.
All right, let's weld this thing on, and then we can start on our seat brackets and all that good stuff. What do we think, like back a little bit more?
Yeah, I think
that.
just about like that is good.
Since we don't have a seat, I'm gonna do something super simple that we can build mounts off of later, and it's just gonna be a bar that goes from here to the back of here, and then once we get our seat, we can build other little brackets off of it to mount that to. I 31 and a half. Dude, that gear oil smells disgusting.
I could go my whole life without smelling this again. Like, we need some good
Cutting
grease. Do they make like scented cutting grease?
Well, the stuff Rogue Fab sent us smelled like watermelon.
I want more of that.
All right, seat bars tacked in. Let's move on to the engine. We've got this engine balanced very sketchily. It's balanced on 2 grinder blades and a couple of squares from the Rogue Fat Bender. But we're gonna be making some mounts to hold this in. Not all of the mounts, just the back ones so we can see how it's gonna look. And I'm thinking we'll just take this bar right here, like that, bar like this, and make a T-mount for the top, T-mount for the bottom, and that should do. We got our rear motor mounts mocked up and they're looking super strong. Now we gotta move on to the front end, and there's a bit of a fitment issue. If you look down here, you can see that our frame is blocking this front end from moving back where it needs to be. So we're just gonna take this out, mark it up, cut a little slot, and this should just fit right back where it needs to. Let's see if it fits now.
I think it will.
I think we cut out enough, but it's always a better practice to cut out too little than too much.
Yeah.
Especially with plastic. We've learned this over all of our mistakes.
We've made a lot of them. Yup.
Yep.
Yup.
Yeah, now it's looking like a real Corvette.
Dude.
That is sick. Now that the front bumper is situated and looking super nice, I've been wanting to see what's going on in this engine. Because we tested the compression and we had like 0 compression, so it could be a very extensive rebuild, or it could just be like the head needs to be cleaned up or something. I doubt it. What do you think, Taylor? What are we gonna find in
I
this
don't know.
engine?
I don't think we're gonna find a hole. I don't think.
have much faith.
I think the rings are just bad.
Think the rings are bad? You want to make another bet?
No.
Okay. I feel like we're digging for treasure right now.
No.
With the amount of water that is in this cylinder, I'm expecting something.
Something, yeah.
I think the damage came from the engine sitting for so long. Open?
I think so too.
It has to be, right? Like, there's no way all of our pistons are damaged.
No.
Or
And they
is
put
there?
it, I don't know, they put it in a bike, so it must have been running.
They put it in the frame, so they must have thought that this engine was good.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know why else you would do that.
I don't either. It looks like there might be some damage on our cam. I don't know, that doesn't look normal to me. It looks like it's been welded or something.
Yeah, that doesn't look quite
It
right.
looks like it's been sanded or something.
Weird.
Well, I doubt that is the problem, but it is kind of weird. It looks like it's been touched. What kind of damage do we have in here?
Well, is that literally water in there?
That is literally water.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as I was thinking. Honestly, I think our rings might just be seized.
Yeah, probably.
That's a lot better than I was thinking it was gonna look, actually. There's like really no damage. Just a lot of water. Okay, I'm feeling a lot better about this. We could just slap some new rings in there and it'll probably be good.
Yeah.
I wonder what the bottom of the head looks like. I mean, I can't lift it very high, but does it look damaged under there? It doesn't
really tell in this light, but
It doesn't really look that bad.
no.
This bike seems to have been running extremely rich. Like, that is a lot of gunk. Also, these are really weird pistons. Look, they have like, you might not be able to see that, but they have this bump.
Yeah, weird.
All of them. I thought this one was damaged for a second, but they all have a bump on them. Strange. But no damage at all to the internals. Just probably stuck rings. So I bet we could actually probably free it if we put enough grease in there and like cleaned it up. We might be able to just free those rings, but it's probably good to put new ones in
Yeah.
because we're gonna be drifting the dickens out of this thing. So yeah, new set of rings, new head gasket, then this thing should start right up. Well, that's it for this video. I feel like we got a lot done. We've got the engine mounted, we've got a custom frame, and we're left with a front engine, rear wheel drive, 130 horsepower miniature sports car, which is like the coolest thing ever. I hope you guys liked this project as much as we did, and we'll see you in the next one. Remember to check out Fishing Clash, the link is down in our description below, and I know a lot of you guys have been wanting to send us mail, so we now have a P.O. box, and that will be in the description as well. You can also find a new video on the left side of your screen, and I think you're gonna love it. Have a great day.